I have with me a panel of guests. First, Dr. Mrutyunjay Mohapatra, who is the Director General of the IMD, Indian Meteorological Department. Mr. Abhinash Mohanty, who is the Program Lead for the Council on Energy, Environment and Water. I also have Mr. Mohan Guruswamy, Hyderabadi, Chairman of the Center for Policy Alternatives, and Mr. G.P. Sharma, President of the Meteorology and Climate Change at SkyMet. Going first to you, Dr. Mohapatra. The administration, the Chief Secretary here said this was unprecedented rains. In the month of October, seeing this kind of rain in a city like Hyderabad, where they said 20 to 30 centimeters of rain within a few hours, it was a downpour, it was intense rain. Is this something that is unusual, or reading the weather phenomenon, you would have thought that something like this was bound to happen?
I would say it is not unusual, but however, it is not very frequent. As and when a depression passes over an area, you can expect this type of extremely heavy rainfall. And in the month of October earlier, also we have seen this type of heavy rainfall in the city of Hyderabad and in Telangana state. And this particular system, it developed over Bay of Bengal, it moved across Andhra Pradesh, moving in a west-northwestward directions. Its track, its intensity, and its movement was predicted very well, and also in advance. So therefore, we could very well inform the public not only the forecast about this weather system, but also we told about the expected impacts on the various structures, the expected impacts in terms of inundations, etc. But however, its impact has reduced now. Today, we don't have any impact in Telangana or Hyderabad. It has moved, and now it is located in Maharashtra, and it is having the maximum impact today over Madhya Maharashtra and Konkan and Goa. And thereafter, from tomorrow, it will have the impact only over Konkan and Goa and South Gujarat region. Already South Gujarat region have started getting some rain also. So there also we are expecting extremely heavy rainfall activity, that is more than 20 centimeter in some places, Madhya Maharashtra and Konkan Goa. We have also predicted there will be the impact in terms of the inundation in low-lying areas. There can be the slippery roads and traffic jams, the impact on power, telecommunications lines. And also it can cause some kind of landslides, landslips in the Ghat regions of Maharashtra and adjoining coastal Karnataka. So these are the specific impact we are expecting. But thereafter, I want to mention you, this particular cyclone, the depression, is expected to weaken and again emerge as a low pressure area over the Arabian Sea near Maharashtra coast. So therefore, under its influence, the Arabian Sea will be rough to very rough from 16th onwards. And wind speed also will increase over Arabian Sea near Maharashtra and South Gujarat coast. So we have advised fishermen not to venture into the sea for next 3 to 4 days over Maharashtra and Gujarat coast.
Okay, Dr. Mohapatra. I'm going to go across now to Mr. Mohan Guruswamy. Sir, every time we see images like this in Hyderabad, we call them unprecedented, and then the weather office, we are told this is an unprecedented rain that's coming in. But you have been watching Hyderabad, advising on what should be done for the development of the city. How do you read what's happened today? Because the kind of images that we have seen, perhaps never seen before.
Uma, I was born in this city. I've been here all my life. You know, I'm 73 years old now, and so I've seen the city grow. Where you and I live in that locality, there were only cottages. There were 600 cottages. Now we have 600 multi-story buildings there. And it's the same drainage, the same sewage, the same water pipeline, trying to be stretched for a huge population. It's become a complete township by itself. Now the whole city has grown that way. You must understand the topography of Hyderabad. It's built in the middle of a bowl. In the old days when Quli Qutub Shah laid the foundation, this month, 340 years ago, he wanted a secure city. So they've got hills all around the city. And most of the water flows come down towards the center of the city, which is the low area. The one exit was Musi River, which took the water out. So all connections led towards the Musi and to the Hussain Sagar, which again joined up with the Musi. Now, there used to be 90 tanks in Hyderabad. It's the biggest, second biggest urban agglomeration in India, 650 square kilometers after Delhi. But there were 90 tanks. Now you hardly got a dozen tanks left. In Secunderabad, you have only Hussain Sagar left. The Picket tank, the road number 12 tank, Masab tank, all the tanks have gone. They've been encroached on, people have built colonies, so there's no place for the water to flow. People have built around through Kingsway, you have James Street, you have a water drainage system. People have built on that also. So where is the drainage supposed to go? Where is the water supposed to go? So you regularize all irregularities. And people have made money giving sanctions. The Municipal Corporation of Hyderabad is notorious for giving sanctions and notorious for asking for money. And the result is this totally blocked up, choked up city being built again and again. Now, the Chief Minister is building a new secretariat. This is the time for him to build a new official township outside the city. Take away the load from the city. Now you're going to have another 5,000 cars and bikes commuting towards the secretariat to the center of the city every day. So the traffic movement is now the second slowest in India after Bangalore. So I think we need...
Mr. Goswami, elections are coming up, but these kind of issues never seem to actually figure when people are talking about voting even in a municipal election. I'm going to go across to Mr. Abinash Mohanty. Mr. Mohanty, what Mr. Guruswamy is talking about is an urban phenomenon, so to speak, and people say we can't, we choose development of this sort, it's bound to happen. Are governments now waking up to this kind of reality, what we saw in Chennai perhaps in 2016, many other urban centers, Mumbai, all the time it keeps happening every now and then, and Hyderabad every now and then, once we are talking about the city getting completely flooded. Is this something that is inevitable? Are governments actually beginning to wake up and take measures perhaps that are not so easy, but yet walking the talk?
So the pathology of the floods need to be understood, and the pathology is bad equilibrium. So bad equilibrium between chaotic drainage pattern and the Anthropocene triggered climate change, climate proved that we don't have it. And if you just go down to the history, the city has lost more than 4,000 hectares of wetlands. And those wetlands are one of the major causes, and they act as shock absorbers for floods and other extreme events. But that has been lost. Now, this chaotic uneven growth that has happened needs to integrate some of these factors and points. At CW, we did an analysis, and our analysis says that almost more than 475 extreme events have hit India in last 50 years, out of which the major the stock was taken by floods. And every year, this Chennai floods or the Hyderabad floods, all of these floods are actually resultant of incident rainfall. You have a day or two of heavy rainfall and it completely floods the city or the district. And it is primarily because we don't have a proper drainage pattern. We don't recover our traditional water management practices, and more importantly, the wetlands in this case.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Sharma, GP Sharma, you're from SkyMet. This kind of unprecedented rains. One side, of course, is this kind of urban development that Mr. Guruswamy is talking about, and Mr. Mohanty too. But is there a larger phenomenon of climate change that is actually bringing in this kind of a downpour, what can we call a torrential rainfall in cities like Hyderabad, and cities are simply not able to cope? Yeah, I was just asking this question about whether this is a question of climate change. I'm going to go back to Mr. Guruswamy just to get from you this idea about whether this government, when elections are coming in, is actually serious about taking those steps. It's talking about having spent about 67,000 crore rupees in the last 5 years. And can we ask the question where that money was spent? Is that a question that voters are bound to ask?
Precisely, you should ask. People don't ask. You're fobbed off with all kinds of explanations that, topping of roads is an annual event. And several thousand crores are blown up on topping of roads. And, the guys who supply the tarmac, they all become very rich. And it's a game which plays. Local government has collapsed. You don't have an elected municipality in this town. Now, it looks like the government is only focused on this Gachibowli, Durgam Cheru, upmarket areas. You're building iconic bridges, doing all kinds of things. They even have a dog park there to walk your dogs. No other place in the city has even parks. Secunderabad doesn't have a park. Where do you go for a walk in Secunderabad? The only place people used to walk, the parade Maidan, is now been taken over.
So there is a lopsided kind of a focus that the government is having, is what you're saying, in a city like Hyderabad, lopsided focus.
Because they all live there.
The larger issue, I'm going to go back to Mr. G.P. Sharma to ask him what he thinks, whether there is a larger phenomenon of climate change that's bringing in this kind of a downpour in cities like Hyderabad and elsewhere as well, because we are talking about October is a month when we usually do see cyclonic storms. But a downpour like this, do you see there's a larger phenomenon because we are interfering with the processes of nature, Mr. Sharma?
Surely, you see, what I was talking about was what the climate change is realized in terms of high impact weather events means intense weather activity in a short span of time, and that's what has happened. You see, Hyderabad is not used to. There is a monthly rainfall of about 100 millimeter in the month of October, and there was a downpour of 200 millimeter, about 200 millimeter in just about 24 hours. Obviously, it has not happened in the last 100 years, I'm telling you. These 24 hours rainfall, not even in the last about 100 years. And that's how, this is what speaks of the climate change or whatever we talk about, that high impact weather events, they're becoming a little frequent. Today it is Hyderabad. We saw it even happening earlier, even in Mumbai also. It could be some other place the other time. So definitely it's making its presence felt. The climate change, we have it. It's a stark reality, obviously, that we have to be prepared for such high impact weather events. They may not come with much notice. Still, the notice, even in this time, at least about 2-3 days notice, it was clear that there are heavy rains are going to visit almost entire Telangana, and Hyderabad per se, it was very, very heavy. And then it is not the first time or the last time, it will happen again.
It didn't get flooded out like this. Sorry. We've had high rainfalls in the past. Yeah. Even in 2005, 2018, we had high rainfalls. The city didn't get flooded like this. When it happened in 2018, the government said we're going to get the water concourses opened up. Nothing has happened. Not in
the last 10 no, I disagree with that. In the last about 10 years, there has never been an incident of 100 millimeter rainfall in 24 hours.
I also have been studying weather patterns. So there is climate change, but we've had high rainfalls. You don't forget, the city came about because of floods. The 1908 floods flooded the old city out, so a new city was built. And what have we done to the new city?
I would actually agree with both of you, Mr. Guruswamy as well as Mr. Sharma, because climate change certainly is the larger phenomenon, but the fact that we are playing around with systems and not allowing tanks, as you mentioned, and not allowing stormwater drains to be built and maintained in the manner in which they should be in urban centers like Hyderabad, both of them perhaps contribute to the kind of chaos and the kind of deluge that we have seen in Hyderabad. I thank Dr. Mohapatra, Mr. Mohanty, Mr. Guruswamy, as well as Mr. Sharma for joining us on this special show on the Hyderabad deluge.